Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Today, we answer a question. Do you want to go offense or defense today? We're going to talk about a couple of different draft picks that we may pick at number 7. We got comment cards from you, all kinds of news and rumors and stuff going around today. Question of the day, and then our dessert with Curt. We got all of that for you, but first I got to bring in my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, dude? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news. Subscribe to the channel, join the family, and join us weekdays, 11 a.m. right here on our channel when we premiere our shows. Join a super chat or just chat it up with us. Get your comments right up front so you know it's so good to interact with you guys every day. Leave a comment on the video, share the video, like the video. All of these things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now let's get this thing started right now.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. And I've got going into that main course right now. And right now we're going to go to Curt Steele with a quarterback that we're going to preview today, Trey Lance. All
right, Trey Lance is my man. He's out of the College of North Dakota State University, you know, FCS, 20 years old, 6'4", 226 pounds. He is a sophomore, but he's finished his third season already. So here's some of his experience. 2018 only threw one pass that season, and it was completed for 12 yards. In 2019, first year as a starter, he threw for 2,786 yards, 28 touchdowns. He also set the NCAA record for most passes thrown without an interception, 287. That's pretty accurate. 2020, last season was cut short due to cold, and he only got to play one game. He passed for 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Yeah. Now, here's some of his accolades as a player in college: 2-time FCS champion, 2018, 2019 Walter Payton Award winner, 2019 Jerry Rice Award winner, 2019 first team all Mid-Valley Football Conference. Same with the Offensive Player of the Year for that conference as well. 2019 FCS First Team All-American. Here's a little bit of news and notes from him. You know, Trey enjoys hosting Bible study on Zoom during the pandemic. That's pretty down to earth. You know, he's religious. So good. Kudos to him for having the opportunity and spreading joy through Bible study during the pandemic. And then Trey also frequents at the local children's hospital and likes to read to children at local schools around Fargo.
Seems like a
pretty good guy, you know, well-grounded young man, you know, man of faith, you know, a man of service. So right now,
he looks pretty good. In fact, his 1 year as a starter, that does bother me a little bit, to be honest. But if we're getting somebody to sit under Stafford, that would be the guy. Yeah. I think that would be the guy to get.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that, that's what really makes sense here. I mean, you don't even have to get him at the number 7 pick. I don't think he's really going to. I think he'll be available outside of the first round, even if the Lions trade up at the front of the round 2, or they sneak back up in the end of the first round and get him. He'll be a good guy to sit under Stafford for next year or so. That's what really will make sense to draft a quarterback here. We haven't looked at the long-term replacement for Matthew Stafford, so I think it's time to kind of look at that. But, you know, you look at some of those other quarterbacks we have in the league, we brought in some guys to sit behind them, and hasn't fared too well either, though. So look at Jimmy G and out there in New England, or look at Mr. Love up there in Green Bay. They haven't seen a lot of day. The guy that it worked probably for the most was Aaron Rodgers up there in Green Bay, but he came in a lot later in Brett Favre's career than someone will be coming in behind Matthew Stafford right now.
I got Micah Parsons, and he's 21 years old. He's from Penn State. He's 6'3", 245 pounds. He's a sophomore only right now, so, not as experienced, okay? Mm-hmm. So he was born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He attended Harrisburg High School, where he was a star athlete in both varsity football and basketball. Senior year, Micah started both defense end and running back. He rushed for 1,239 yards, 27 touchdowns. Holy cow. He's got to have some speed to do that, guys. Speed. Yeah. That's what we need. Okay, well, having 9.5 sacks and an interception. Oh,
so he played. Wow. So he played both ways. Wow, that's pretty good. It means he's got some stamina.
In high school, you do for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
In high school, well, at least in our high school, we did, because we didn't have that many players. I went to Muskegon Catholic Central High School here in Michigan, and they have a pretty good track record, and they're very good in like championships and stuff. But they had hardly any players, so they would always have to go, playing both sides. He was recruited by a lot of big time schools such as Nebraska, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and Oklahoma. He graduated high school 7 months early to enroll in Penn State.
Wow.
Before seeing any action at Penn State, head coach James Franklin converted Parsons to middle linebacker. Oh, would you imagine him versus Turtle Tavai? I'm sorry. In his freshman year, Parsons only started one game for Penn State, but he managed to lead the team in tackles with 82. He also became the first Nittany Lion to ever lead the team in tackles as a freshman.
Wow, that's pretty big, because they have some big-time linebackers at Penn State.
Yes, they do. Highlights and awards: 2017 American Family Insurance Defensive Player of the Year, 2017 USA Today's High School All-U.S. Team, 2018 First Team Freshman All-American, 2019 Butkus Fitzgerald Linebacker of the Year Award. 2019, he was also an All-American. In 2019, he was First Team All-Big Ten as well. And he was the Cotton Bowl Defensive MVP in 2019. This is the first defensive player we've profiled. A lot of folks want to go defense instead of quarterback, and I can totally understand. There's a couple of schools of thought here. If Stafford doesn't have that many years left, yeah, maybe we'll want to get a quarterback, somebody that can take over for him sooner than later. If you think Stafford's got a few years left, which I do, and we'll talk about that a little later. But then I think defense, we really need to overhaul that defense. Micah Parsons can really help us in that linebacking corps.
Yeah,
that's what we're really, really bad at right now is linebackers.
Way bad.
Perfect fit. Perfect fit.
Yeah.
For me. And speedy linebacker who can cover, and I believe, and also, rush the passer. I mean, I think this could be a really, really good pickup for the Lions.
I mean, he's fast and he has size, so it's not just like he's just a big guy. He can run. So unlike some of the guys we have now who are just big, he's big and can run. So that's one thing that would help us on our front seven, because we are definitely lacking at the linebacker position for the Lions.
That's true. That's true. And now we're going to get to your comments. What do you think about all this stuff? Not this show particularly, but the last show. We're going to go into that. JBC says Stafford lacks only one thing: tenacity 100% of the time. He's as good as any quarterback in the NFL. I don't see that. I don't see that he doesn't play with tenacity 100% of the time. I don't agree with that at all.
When did Jim Bob Cooter subscribe to our show?
Yeah, he came from Mayberry to run the offense. But you know what? Maybe he knows. Maybe it's
tenacity. Man, if it's 100% of the time, tenacity.
I don't know, man. He's out there playing with all these injuries. I think it takes tenacity just to do that.
Yeah. I mean, just to stomach some of the losses. All right.
Oh, God.
Zach J says, why not a second, a third round quarterback prospect this year with the chance that he becomes a franchise quarterback? Somebody like Brock Purdy. He can sit for a year behind Stafford. If he doesn't if he doesn't look like the guy that can take a quarterback in the first round next year, it will at least create competition in the quarterback room.
I don't not like that because I think Stafford's got a lot of time left. I'm watching Drew Brees sling the ball at 33 years old. I'm watching Tom Brady sling the ball. I don't know how old he is. I think he's older. I think he's collecting Social Security while he's playing.
Man, he's up there.
You got Aaron Rodgers at what, 37? Stafford's 33.
I mean, and Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to be the MVP this year.
I think Drew Brees is 43, isn't he?
Yeah, him and Brady about the same age.
42, 43. I mean, Stafford could have 9 years left in the NFL playing at this level.
And the way that the game has changed where they really protect the quarterback, I don't see why not.
Well, he does get hurt a lot, and everybody's going to say, well, he's gotten beat up more than Drew Brees. Drew Brees came into the league with a shoulder injury that they said he might not be able to be right ever again.
Yeah, out there in
that's why he got traded in San Diego to New
San Diego, because they were like they weren't going to keep them because of his injury, so he was going to go to either Miami or New Orleans, and New Orleans hit the jackpot. I mean, that guy's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. It's like you just don't know with injuries. Injuries are really tough to say. Someone who has a history of them, and Stafford does, but I mean, so does Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt all the time too. And I don't understand that.
And the thing with Stafford, even though he's injured, he still plays.
I know. Well, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, that's another debate.
Yeah, but it's like he has a bunch of injuries that keep him out of the lineup. He's like, screw it, I'm gonna play anyway. So I don't.
Thomas Brittle says Robert Saleh, I'm worried about will be Jim Schwartz 2.0. I'd rather have the enemy. As for quarterback, draft Trey Lance and let Stafford go elsewhere. No. Draft Trey Lance, let Stafford stay here and sit under him. That's my thing. I would like to have that.
Draft Trey Lance
2.0 thing. He does run that 4-3 kind of defense that Schwartz runs, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I trust one person in this organization right now, and that's Spielman. To be honest with you, he's the one that's had his nose to the ground. He's the one that's had his ears out in the NFL. He's been on Fox, so it's not just like he's just Lions-centric. He's seen everybody in the league, kind of been able to talk to people because he's media, been able to get an inside information on people, and I think that's going to be very beneficial to this search. I'm just hoping they don't get it wrong. I mean, I don't think I could stand another 5 years of garbage. I don't think I can do it.
Very much so. I get you. All right. Gray Ford says defense should be priority. Linebacker specifically. I agree with that sentiment 100%. Trash should be in the second round. Back up Stafford for a year or two. I believe he needs some time to grow, but should be a Big Ben type of player.
Trask had one good year and he's injury prone.
I mean, with
that's a
Trask,
hard no on me. It's trash.
I'm not really sold on Kyle Trask. Just to be honest with you. So I'm not saying he couldn't be a good player. I don't know. I can't see the future, but seeing what I've seen so far, I would pass on Trask.
So Kurt's crystal ball is broken.
Yeah, it is. It is.
With you, man.
Yeah. Can't see
Doug Wagner says, I got to get out of that comment. Doug Wagner says, how you giving up on Stafford? We've done all he has done here, like trading Bobby. It's like trading Bobby Lane. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
He broke all his records. I would take someone that is I would take someone that is a need, but is also worthy of the 7th pick or whatever, but we need defensive help. I would try to re-sign Marvin Jones. And if you put the franchise tag on Galladay, if you've been healthy all year, it would have been a different outcome. There's a lot here. So let's break this down.
Lots to unpack.
Stafford. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. He's got like 9 years left in his career to me.
Yeah.
Unless he just wants to stay home with the family. And it doesn't appear that's the way he's built.
Nah.
He wants to win, and he wants to win here.
He wants to win in Detroit. He said that.
He really does.
He said it repeatedly that he wants to win in Detroit. He wants to bring a title to Detroit and bring it home to the Motor City where he likes to play. Detroit's his home, so he wants to bring a title to Detroit.
Here's the thing. Okay, so we ranked number 32. Is it 30 or 32 in defense? 30 in rush and running game.
we ranked 30. We ranked 30th, 32nd overall in total defense.
Yep.
It was 30th against the pass and like 28th against the run.
What was the running game? What was the running game? 30th overall?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, and the passing game was what? 10th overall. So the only people not doing their job here, the only one that is doing their job, let's get rid of that guy, because that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Never understood
that
it.
Makes
I never will.
No sense whatsoever. Just to be honest, I don't understand why some people was like, you got to get rid of that guy. It's like, get rid of that guy. It's like, what?
I don't get it at all.
Like, I don't understand why you're saying get rid of that guy.
Well, it's been 12 years and he's never won anything. Okay. Well, you name me the time that he had a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense and a top 10 running game in the same year.
I don't understand why people think why it's always just the quarterback. Like, okay, even with the trade, that's people trying to say, oh, let's trade for Deshaun Watson. Dude won 4 games this year. The Lions won 5. Okay,
I want to get rid of him too.
The Lions were 10th in passing and 30th in the run on offense. Just looking at the stats, looking it up right quick while we're here.
Yeah. Should we re-sign Marvin Jones? That's an interesting question.
I do like Marv. I can't say that I don't like Marv. I do like Marv.
Got to go, but I like Marvin Jones, but I think they're going to want to get younger at the position.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give Cephas a chance to be that slot, and I think they're going to get another wide receiver, maybe in free agency for like a stopgap, and I think they're going to probably draft one next year.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to draft one this year. I don't think they will.
And just to make sure I got it right, 30th ranked pass defense, 28th run defense, 32nd overall total defense, set the NFL records for most points allowed for a season for the franchise and the NFL.
And we've been really bad before, so that's saying something.
I mean, and that even beats our 2008 season.
Oh,
and we all know what happened in 2008 season.
Under our defensive-minded genius, rocket scientist, Matt Patricia. All right, we got one more. What's going on, Curt? This guy.
All right, it is my man, Big Mike. OMG, it's Lions Talk. He says, another great show. This is the best channel for Detroit Lions news. That's our guy. OMG, it's Lions Talk. DSA member also as well. Shout out to the DSA over there. Luke G, JMO313, RachelMarieSports, Ryder Ron, my man over there. Real Detroit Sports. Big shout out to all our family over there. Detroit Drew over the DSA. But my man, hey, Big Mike, we appreciate you. Michael Jones over there at OMG, it's Lions Talk.
So we're going to go into some news and rumors now. This is the part of the show where we kind of got comment on what other people are saying. So Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell appears to be staying put. So anybody who wanted Matt Campbell, looks like he's going to stay at Iowa State. Campbell took to Twitter on Sunday morning and appeared to announce that he will be returning as head coach of the Cyclones for another year. So grateful for the commitment of so many to continue to want to build our program together. Our foundation has been built on loyalty and faithfulness, and it will continue to be our guiding light. Sounds like a pastor and not a coach. Humbled and grateful to continue to lead, to be different. That's good. Wow.
You know what, though? I would say this. Once you get into a college program and you really start to build something, like for him, like he really, really changed the narrative at Iowa State.
Yes.
So he's built, a good program at Iowa State. And pretty much he can have whatever he wants at Iowa State. So why would you?
I would take this with a grain of salt, because I think if you, I mean, I know you're committed and all this other stuff and you want to rebuild your thing, but man, a few $1 million here or there, and
sometimes money walks. I mean, money talks. You already know that. Sometimes. I mean, that's going without saying. Sometimes money talks.
But see, sometimes if you've already rebuilt a program, right? You want to see it through.
Yeah.
But if you could go to the NFL and do that, think of what the legacy would be. But I don't count him out yet.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
But sometimes money isn't, like I said, money talks, but sometimes money isn't everything.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you there.
Yeah. All right. Now let's look at the Lions are expected to meet with defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles. he's a former head coach as well. According to NFL Network's Mike Garofalo, the Lions have put in a request to interview Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive coordinator, Mr. Bowles, for their head coaching position. No interview has been set up yet. We know he's in the playoffs right now, as Detroit will not be able to interview Bowles until after the Bucs wild card game against the Washington football team. So, but the request has been placed. So now that the Bucs have totally annihilated the Washington football team this weekend, it may be a chance for the Lions to interview Bowles. Bowles is another long-term NFL coach with an extensive history on the defensive side of the ball. He started as a secondary coach with the Jets and got his first taste of head coaching in 2011 as the Dolphins interim head coach following the firing of Tony Sparano. Everybody knows who Mr. Sparano is. He's out there in Kansas City. A few years later, he got his chance with the first real thing, taking over for Rex Ryan as the head coach of the 2015 New York Jets. He got off to a hot start after getting the team to 10-6 in his first season. However, the following 3 seasons, he never won more than 5 games and was primarily let go in 2018. So, that Jets organization is about where we are right now. Still, Bowles is a respected defensive mind who has done a great job in Tampa and the team defensive coordinator. Interestingly enough, he was not able. He won't be the first time Bowles interviews for the Lions head coaching job. He did so in 2009. He was a finalist for the job before losing out to who? Mr. Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz
himself. So looking at that, it'll be an interesting hire. Given his track record, I know a lot of fans will probably put off by Todd Bowles because of his track record as a head coach. But he is a good defensive mind.
He was the hot name, man. He was the hot name.
He was.
And then he went to the Jets and he stunk up the joint. He had a good team. He went 10-6 when he took over for Rex Ryan, and then it just went to heck. It was bad. I don't want him. Be quite honest about it. I just don't. I gave the thumbs down. Maybe he's better now, and maybe he's a great defensive mind or whatever. But I don't know. He had his shot, and he kind of really, really blew it. Although we would take Jim Schwartz back, I would imagine. So
yeah, but here's my thing.
Can't be too bad.
You just can't. There's plenty of NFL coaches that have had bad spells, places.
But has there been somebody has 3 really bad years and then comes back and head coaches another team and he's great? I've not seen that. That is a good point. I agree with you 100%. Am I saying I want Todd Bowles? No, I'm not saying that at all. One thing I will say was the final 3 seasons totally on Todd Bowles, or is it a function of the dysfunctionality of the Jets, just like we were dysfunctional in Detroit? Yeah, it could be. That absolutely could be. But I don't think Matt Patricia is going to be getting a job anytime soon.
Hey, he might take the Jets next year. I don't know.
They could do that. I'm not even going to say they couldn't. A report says that Robert Saleh did not interview well with the Lions. There's a lot of stuff on this. Eyeing Pat. Okay, I don't know if he's fat or not, but Pat Fitzgerald. Okay, so they're looking into him.
Out of Northwestern, that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They says they're interested. I don't know. They're interested in interviewing everybody. I think they're doing their due diligence, and I like that though. Different reports have surfaced here, so I think it could be a smokescreen. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of talk out there that, he didn't interview well, and then there's other reports that he did interview well. I don't know what to think on this.
Now, one guy that's a friend of the show, shout out to my man Dave Burkett. That Dave Burkett said that he interviewed quite well in Detroit, so he doesn't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, I've heard it contradictory. This is coming from Pride of Detroit, I believe. And I know Jeremy does really good work over there, and it has to be a credible source. I know that he's in the media and does have credentials, so he would know a little bit more about the situation. But you never know who the source is and what happened.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Like, at this time of year, you're always going to hear oh no, he's not gonna, or he didn't do good, or the same way with the interview process as we look at when we look at the draft time. Oh, he didn't do good in his Wonderlic test, or he didn't interview well for the draft. So you're gonna get these rumors coming out on both sides at this time of the year, especially for this type of position.
Yeah, back to Fitzgerald a minute. He helped turn around the Northwestern Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
They've been mostly non-competitive, to be honest, in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But he held the whole head coaching job for 15 years, comes off a 7-2 season with a big win over Auburn in the Citrus Bowl. Northwestern has had 5 winning seasons in their past 6 years, including 4 straight bowl victories. So turning a team around. I want to comment on this, and I know, and this is going to be a little off subject, but I have to do this. The GM, I believe, in my personal opinion, is the one who builds the team. Okay.
Yeah.
The coach is there is to develop those players. Like if we have Turtle Tavai, you need to get something out of the guy, right? Anything you can get would be fine, but you need to get something out of the guy. You need to get his level of play up. You need to strengthen his strengths and shore up his weaknesses. You need to get him to learn how to play the game at the NFL level. I don't see that with our coaching staff. I just don't.
Yeah.
Our players regress quite a bit. And so I think that I think that most coaches want to come in here and change the culture and change this and change that. No, coach the players. That's what you're here for. The GM can get you the players, right? You mold them. You build them up to another level. That is something I think that has been sorely missed here in Detroit. Is there coaches seem to be here to be doing the GM job?
Yeah, to kind of
not doing their job.
Change the culture. I mean, the GM, along with the individuals like Chris Spielman and things like that, they can change the culture. The coaches need the coach. And that
X's and O's on the field,
they're part
in-game
of
adjustments, which we have not seen.
Yeah, their part of changing the culture is winning games. That's their only. There should be only their part of changing the culture is winning games. So moving on to the next bit of information. All right, there are 2 trades offers that Lions can make for the guy we talked about a little bit ago, Deshaun Watson. Okay, here's the first proposed trade. The Lions trade the number 7 overall pick with a 2nd rounder and a 1st rounder of 2022 for Deshaun Watson. This may not even be enough for him. Essentially trading Watson and not taking a chance on Trey Lance or another quarterback in the draft. That's a lot of change to give up. 2 number 1s and a number 2. So
it's too much.
Yeah, that's you're mortgaging your future.
And that may not be enough to get him.
Yeah, because I mean he is an excellent talent, even though he only won 4 games this year. All right. Well, he was kneecapped by Bill O'Brien as well, trading away a player like DeAndre Hopkins. So, and then the second one is Detroit trades Jeff Okudah and this number 7 pick in 2021, along with a 3rd rounder in 2022. But I don't think that Detroit does this. But if Stafford is moved, also may be viable. You know what though? I will say this. And I know where this stems from because of the fact that Deshaun Watson is kind of disgruntled about the GM issue down there with the hiring process. And, he, kind of put his, wanted to at least put his 2 cents in. And then from what the other reports that came out yesterday is that the Texans did not follow the advice of their search firm.
Right.
We profiled the guy Omar Khan.
Yes.
They said they were slated to, that the search firm said hire Omar Khan, but they hired the individual that they wanted to hire. So I'm not sure if that's also part of the issue, is where Deshaun Watson is just kind of frustrated.
They didn't take any of his input and went completely against what Deshaun Watson wanted.
Yeah, and the search firm
said
as well.
He wasn't and basically was kind of saying he wasn't their franchise QB in some ways. And I don't know. It's a really big mess.
Is this the guy they hired said that he wasn't the franchise QB?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't say that for sure, but there was something going on about that.
And I know that he said he wants to meet with Deshaun Watson. If there's I'll put it like this: there isn't many franchise quarterbacks in the league right now, and Deshaun Watson is definitely one of the guys that you would start your franchise with. You want to bring into your facility to be your franchise quarterback. I mean, he's just so talented, dual threat, can run and throw, accurate. He is an excellent quarterback. So I'm not sure. Just look at what J.J. Watt said walking off the field after their last game, saying that our defense, we failed you. That just kind of shows you what type of player Deshaun Watson is and what type of respect that he garners around the league and on his team as well.
But here's my take on this. Do I think Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback? I do. Do I think he brings a dual threat that we think we need here in Detroit? Because everybody's wanting that here, and they don't want Stafford. I will say this: I think that we should get someone. If you want that kind of quarterback, get him, sit him, and then let. We don't need to give up any capital to have a franchise quarterback because we already have one.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. The second thing is, can we get the franchise guy of the future? We can. We can draft one, and we don't give up any capital to do that.
Yeah,
I don't see trading the farm for someone and saying, "Oh, wow, the quarterback position's fixed. Now we can go to other things." The quarterback position's already fixed, and you need to go do other things.
Yeah,
that's the way
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I'm not seeing, if it was one of those things where it was like maybe a 1-for-1, or it was like, okay, we're gonna trade Stafford for him, and then maybe a third round or something like that will make sense. Okay, because you're getting a little bit younger, and
you get more mobility, and I like that
more dynamic player. But to mortgage the farm for Deshaun Watson,
no,
nah.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it because you can pick up somebody in this draft.
Yeah,
sit him for a while because Stafford's got. This is the thing. I think Stafford's got like 8-9 years left. Everybody else is like, oh, this is going to be his last year. He may retire in the offseason. Just because Calvin Johnson retired early and Barry Sanders retired early does not mean Matthew Stafford will. That dude has like an iron will, and just he will. If he's good enough to stand on his feet, he's going to play.
If that was the case for him retiring early, he'd be already retired.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I do not think that he had any, I don't think he had any intention of that. Okay, question of the day. Do you want to go offense or defense with the 7th overall pick? There's talk of a QB here, the replacement for Stafford, trade Stafford, get him out of here because, he's the only one doing his job. So that's a good idea. So if you go offense, do you go quarterback? Do you go wide receiver here? I mean, if you lose Kenny Golladay, you lose Marvin Jones, you lose an Amendola. If you do lose all those players, we may need a wide receiver. But do you pick him 7th? I wouldn't. I mean, I seen a mock draft from McShay, and he says that he would give us a wide receiver, either one of them, Chase or the other guy, Smith. I think it's Devonta Smith, right? I think it is. I don't want either one of them, to be honest, right now, because we need to rebuild that defense. The offense really was not the problem this year. I don't see that as being the issue. The injuries hurt us. And the injuries also hurt us on defense. But anyway, what do you think? Do you think offense or defense with the 7th overall pick? And now we're going to go to my favorite part of the show, the dessert with Curt.
All right. So here's some tasty morsels for you guys. There's still hope. So don't fret, my friends, Lions and fellow Lions fans. This weekend, 2 teams in a really, really long playoff droughts with wins. The Buffalo Bills ended a 25-year playoff drought with their victory over the Indianapolis Colts. And then last night, the first win came for the Browns since 1994 in the playoffs versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was wow. That was something.
Don't fret, Lions fans. It's still a possibility that we could make the playoffs and win. So I know it's been 29 wonderful, painful years for the Lions and the playoff drought win for a playoff win. But if those guys can do it, so can we.
Yes, if Green Bay becomes New England, then this year, then we have a chance, folks.
Yeah.
But that's what happened to Buffalo. Buffalo had the fortune of having New England not be as strong as they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're retooling, they had a chance to win that division for the first time in a long, long time.
But I think Buffalo is just a good team. I mean,
they're a good team.
I mean,
but
you
would
can
they
say
have
that.
would they have beaten the Patriots team with Tom Brady and how good they are?
I think they could have. I think they could have gave him a good run. I don't know, because they've been playing good for the last couple of years.
I mean, they don't got a bad team.
Yeah, they're not a one-hit wonder. They were good last year.
Yeah, they're building that team. And
they're
Cleveland's
building that
team too. That was kind of a shock to me. I didn't think they were going to beat Pittsburgh, but that was a little bit of a shock for me.
They jumped out to that 28-point lead, and they never looked back. I was like, they did. You know what though? I just think that people kind of counted them out with the coach being on the sidelines. But it wasn't like the situation with the Lions where the whole coaching staff was on the COVID list. Right. You know, so they still had their coordinators and everybody else still on the sidelines. So they just ran their game plan, and they jumped out to a lead, and they let their talent go ahead and come through. And big shout out to, you know what though, I would say this: congratulations to the Browns, because for many years we were 1 and 2 for the laughing stocks of the league. So if you can do it, you're giving us hope in the Motor City that we can do it as well.
Totally agree with you. Shout out to Chris Wright, who is doing the research for us and helping us out a ton here. He wasn't feeling well this weekend and still was able to do that work for us. So we really appreciate you.
Shout out, my man. Sail on, brother. Job. Sail on.
Sail on. All right. But thank you, everyone, for rocking with us. We've had an amazing turnout in the comments. We've had an amazing bunch of people watching us and going forward and giving us all the compliments and stuff. We really appreciate that. Really thank you for being part of this family. And now we're going to go home today with Curt.
All right. Hey, just to reiterate again, there's still hope, Lions fans. If you have teams like Buffalo and Cleveland who have these long droughts just as long as we have, we can definitely rebuild this roster and get a winner here in the Motor City. So, hey, you know, Buffalo has never won a Super Bowl, and neither has the Browns. So, you know, we can get it. If they can get there, we can get there too. So that
Buffalo used to be called Barfalo.
Yeah.
So
with that being said, you know what Buffalo and Cleveland did? They said no matter what, they bossed up, balled out, and was the best version of them that they could be. And we say do the same for yourself. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Make sure you join us weekdays 11 a.m. right here on our channel. Same bat time, same bat channel for the premieres. Do the super chat. Join us live for those shows, and we appreciate you joining the family. Subscriber to the channel. This is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.